What's up, guys? Kelsey Charles Flanagan and Megan Murray here. And you are listening slash watching Girls Talking Boys. What's up?
Look, we're together.
Together again. I guess I should be like, reunited and it feels so good. We are indeed reunited. I decided to come to Dallas for a whopping 36 hours and on arguably the busiest weekend in Dallas
Yeah.
in the fall.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's insane out there. It's Texas OU weekend. It'll probably be on the background here in a little bit, but
It is. And
we're
just so you know where we
just
stand,
kicking off right now. Yeah, that.
Megan is also a very big Longhorns fan, so she's thrilled.
Such a huge Longhorns fan.
Yep. We just went like full Texas today because, being in Tennessee, I don't know, like I don't really know if Tennessee has a culture. Maybe they do. It's so rude of me to say.
She doesn't know. You've been there for how long?
Like a year and a half, and I'm just like, I don't know. But basically, I'm leaning in and we're drinking Chilton's.
Yes.
Cheers. Watching our Longhorns about to dominate the Sooners.
Hopefully, she just said our Longhorns.
I'm just really perpetuating the trying to force my fandom on lots of people.
I want you to be happy today, so I'll root for them, but like they're not mine.
I did get an Aggie yesterday who I work with. She does our external comms for us. And she had to get interviewed about our licensed product for Lucchese and the Longhorns. And I was like, listen, she's like a massive Aggie. And I was like, you have to you have to do hook 'em. Like, you have to do it.
That's kind of clever.
I literally was like, I don't make the rules, but like, this is how it has to go down. And she was like, immediately, no, absolutely not. And then she calls me an hour later and she's like, damn it. And I was like, yes.
Did she like have her Aggie ring on and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh.
And she was like, I have maroon nails. And I was like, I don't care.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. Anyways, so before we dive in and go do our college football thing with our friends,
yes,
we decided it was a good idea to hop on here and discuss the Steelers game and then also the Lions game tomorrow, which I am TBD on staying for. I think I'm not going to because I don't have very good vibes about it, if I'm being honest.
Well, okay, so I hate to break it to everybody, but there is this thing that's going around called the Sabrina Carpenter curse.
I just became aware of this.
Yeah, so she did it. It was like she did maple leaves. That doesn't necessarily count. They're just bad. So like,
yeah,
the juju is there.
Yeah.
But and if you're from Toronto, sorry. But then she wore her Phillies jersey. She is from Philadelphia, the area. So she is a fan.
Yeah.
She wore that and then they, lost. They're no longer in the playoffs. Haha. And I don't actually hate the Phillies. I just like it. The crossover between Eagles fans, like there's Eagle fan sadness involved.
It's like Philadelphia, like Eagles tangent things.
Yeah, like normally I really don't care. I don't care about the Phillies, but
yeah,
they did lose.
The one thing we will never talk shit about is Wawa because Wawa forever.
Yeah, Wawa is really good.
Yeah. Everything else is fair game.
I did try Sheets. It's good too.
I
know that's not necessarily a Philly thing, but
yeah, that's like a Pittsburgh thing. And I drove through that area and I was like so bummed that I didn't see a Sheets that I could like go to because I was going to try and do like an official comparison when Ian and I did that like crazy road trip with our infants across the country.
She didn't even go to Skyline or anything.
Nothing. But I wouldn't fuck with Skyline anyways. Like, are you joking?
I would.
Absolutely.
I just want to try it.
No, that just really sounds vile.
But they put cinnamon in it. It's like, but that's so Kansas City.
Is that really?
Well, they put the bun on the side, the cinnamon bun. It's like, you might as well put it together, right?
I grew up in Kansas City. Like, I miss these cultural elements. Like, I definitely am like well versed in the barbecue, but like all these other things, I'm like, I miss that memo entirely.
Marissa's family does it, so I'm like, just assuming it's a thing.
Well, she is the most Kansas City person I've ever met, so that's like I wouldn't doubt it. So, like, just also, to be clear,
RIP to the Royals too. But regardless, we'll get.
Irregardless.
Anyways, the Phillies lost after Sabrina Carpenter wore their jersey. She just wore a Cowboys sweatshirt the other day, so I'm like really superstitious that we're gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for us, I don't think we need Sabrina Carpenter to wear her shirt for us to lose tomorrow, but I'm gonna blame it on that.
Well, also the fact that, I mean, the Lions fans are still very mad at us
Yeah.
from last year.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for that.
Yes.
Not that it was our fault. If they want to get mad at somebody, they can talk to the refs. But
Actually, though, his wife, Skipper's wife, messaged me and was like, "Are you staying for the game?" And I was like, "Hell no! I love you all the other time, but like,
yeah,
you and me tomorrow, like we are twin mom for life. Like she is. I told you guys last episode or 2 episodes ago, like she's been my savior.
yeah.
And now I'm like, sis, we cannot be in the same room tomorrow.
No.
Like we are like this, but tomorrow, well, that's not what it is. But anyways, that was a really weird thing to put on camera. Guys.
There will be no peace. Anyways.
That was what I was saying. I was saying.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, so the Lions are going to come in with a vengeance. So that just kind of makes me nervous in general. Just and the fact that, there's just a cluster. The team is the way they scratched and clawed to get this win, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
I felt like they were going to win this game, but I felt like it was going to be ugly. It was not pretty.
Well, I feel like the Steelers game, like really genuinely was kind of a crapshoot until the fourth quarter. And then you're like, oh, thank God. Like the guy we paid a ton of money is like doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah. But even then it was like, where's CeeDee Lamb? Like, where are the big like playmakers? And I know that, defenses are always going to scheme against him to like eliminate him, but you still like have to find a way. And I don't know, like it feels, I still don't leave that victory feeling confident. Like it didn't instill anything in me. It was just more like a sigh of relief than it was like like, all right, like on to the next one. Like we're going to stack these victories. It was more just like, thank God we survived. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think my bigger takeaway was like the fact that you weren't like out of it because of your defense.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that we've been a little bit, wary about. So like we were able to stay in it. It was never like out of grass.
Yeah.
Sorry. It was never out of grass. And then the mascot is sneezing over here.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that the defense didn't like flub it for you.
Yeah.
I think was like the biggest takeaway. We got a takeaway. So that was good. But I don't know. It just going into this game with all those injuries and like they're not coming back until like potentially after the bye. It's just you just feel a little thin.
Yeah. I mean, I would say like for me, it again, like our offense, the running game is very like mid right now. And we kind of knew that was going to happen, but it still doesn't feel good to be like witnessing it.
Yeah.
And then
Dowdle can catch though. So
yeah, I mean, sure, that's great. And it's just, and I feel like our wide receiver, our number one receiver, like really hasn't like picked up, the connection and the steam with Dak. And then you've got guys like, again, like he's never been afraid to spread the ball around and spread the load of carrying this offense. But they just kind of feel like a bunch of guys versus like playmakers.
Yeah.
And
Burg did a really good job of stepping up though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he is I got him. I always get him on my fantasy team now.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was thinking about Jalen
He's
Tolbert.
such a dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about adding Tolbert just as like
he was sitting on my bench.
Dude, I know. I think I might have to, if he's still available, I might have to pick him up and like add him last minute.
Hashtag nobody cares about your fantasy team, but I'm like, should I put him in this week? If I do that, he's gonna do nothing.
I know.
But you never know.
I know. I'm telling you, like I thought about it. I was like, he's gonna have a game.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't have predicted last game. But that was the thing that like there were a lot of guys like Jeff Kavanaugh and Brian Broaddus were talking a lot about like hit Tolbert. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Because he's proven where he is valuable to you. And you know what, they thought about it. I didn't necessarily think about it, but like clearly because I didn't put him in. But that was the perfect game for him to really like shine because they were locking down CD a lot. He was able to get in there here and there, but It was a good game for Tolbert and then a good game for Fergie. So your guys will step up, but
Yeah.
it's like it's still, you know.
I feel like this is going to be another good game. There we go for Tolbert because again, I view the Lions as a worthier opponent.
Mhm.
I'm never going to talk poorly about like Mike Tomlinson, but like
Ha, you did it too.
Tomlin. Damn it! Why did we do that? Tomlinson. That's why we did that. I literally have done that with
I
Zim
know.
and Tomlin. Because I said Zimmerman, and Zimmerman's this clothing brand that I love.
Yeah.
It's really expensive.
It is.
And I'm always looking for it to be on sale because even when it's on sale, I still can't afford it. But like whatever. Anyways.
Zim might be on sale if he keeps it up.
I mean, he might. He might.
Yeah, Tomlin is never one to be messed with. But honestly, like everyone's okay. So I've accumulated some Steelers friends.
Have you?
Yeah, I love them.
Really?
Yeah, and they're just like very high on Justin Fields, and I was like, okay, sure. And like I've you know kept it because Carmen covered the Bears, so I was like pretty in tune with what he was doing there, and then she obviously has an idea of what he's doing over there, so I listened to her, listen to these Steelers fans, and I'm like, oh, he must be like fantastic. I was not impressed.
Yeah. He really I will never understand how these guys who, do so well in college, just for whatever reason, don't translate to the NFL. Like there's just a handful of them that just take these like massive drop offs, and you're like, God, like how? Why? Like Caleb Bar, like they're just
Williams.
Yes.
Well, he had a good game last week, but like
good.
he's having the build up. He's like the baby, right? Yeah. Justin was in a not a great situation. Like he has flashes of like being such a good quarterback. I think the situation he's in now is so much better.
Yeah.
But, like the way that we were able, like, and if you ask any of the Steelers fans, they're like, "Oh yeah, like if Russell comes back, we don't want him. We want to stick with Fields." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I get it. Like it wasn't his best game, period.
Yeah.
But like, and he's had better games. But I was just like, oh. It's not that like, I don't know what Zim did to like foil him so much.
Yeah.
But he was like, they were on his butt.
Yeah.
Like the entire game, which was good to see.
I will say, I honestly kind of think that the concept of like what the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre treatment, where you were almost like a quarterback in waiting, kind of like with Jordan Love, where like you train behind a legend or just like a starting quarterback for X number of years.
Yeah.
That doesn't really feel as common anymore. It's definitely not. And, you look at your backup quarterback and it's just like, a guy versus someone who's going to be like taking over the team one day. And I have to like wonder if that.
You don't think Cooper Rush is going to take over one day?
No, respectfully.
Love him though.
Love him though. But like, I just look at that, what that did. And, who knows? Like you can't know because Aaron Rodgers only did what Aaron Rodgers did. But like, who knows if Aaron Rodgers would have been the same guy if he hadn't sat behind Favre and done all of that training. And it's just like, but I just kind of wonder if that was super impactful and would be helpful for some of these people who are transitioning and like having this major drop off. Like maybe they're not being set up for success and it's just a lot more of a greater transition like we realize.
Oh, I think that's like on the money. The way that like the vast majority of teams have never been in a position to like do that though.
Yeah.
Is because like, first of all, you have to have your guy to begin with. Then he has to be good. Then you have to get someone that you think could take over for him and then put him behind there. Yeah. Like the way that the Packers, like people always give the Eagles a lot of credit and they should. They do a good job, especially in like free agency and stuff like that. But yeah, I know. And I'm not talking about their quarterbacks, by the way, because like we all know how that's going. What's happening?
Like we just threw an interception.
But when I say like, if you look at the way that this structure goes for like the Packers, the way obviously, that's the easiest one to grasp at. But like there aren't a lot of teams that are like set up to do such a thing like that. Like you could look at the Rams are in a good position to do that right now. And even I'm trying to think. I guess the 49ers at a point, like not now, but like under when they had Jimmy back in the day, if they had like brought up, they wanted to do Trey, was it going to be their next iteration? But they ended up too many dominoes fell.
I know that ended up being a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, And like, is the nature of the league, does that even allow you?
Well, I guess like the Falcons are kind of trying to do that in a
That's true.
sense. In
Like,
a
it's like
sense.
super
Now,
controversial.
like, yeah, I know that,
But like,
Kirk didn't like it, but like he's doing well and he's gonna likely keep his starting job for a while. But like,
yeah.
for how long? And then you have Penix in the wings.
I don't know that, like, I actually, again, like, that's such a good point that we should look into at some point, where I just think that, him being upset about like the drafting of a quarterback, like
Right.
in today's NFL makes sense because it's just not a thing that really happens anymore. But, scroll back 10 years ago and like that was like what you did,
Right. Yeah.
and maybe,
I mean, and if you think about it, like how excited was Russell Wilson to have Justin Fields join the team?
yeah,
And look at him right now.
look at this. Anyway, so just, food for thought. But
The Raiders wish,
yeah, the Raiders, oh, the Raiders. Um, looking ahead to tomorrow though,
Oh yeah, yeah.
with the Detroit Lions. They're favored like 3.5 point favorites. And you've got, I don't know. I mean, you look, the Cowboys are actually 0-2 at home, which
They might be road dogs.
they
Are
also,
they doing the reverse jinx?
I mean, they might be. And I don't know if I think that they can, if I think they're going to continue the streak in the negative direction, just based on the fact that like their defense is depleted.
Yeah.
Their run defense sucks right now. The Lions have Jared Goff, who's not going to be pressured. And it's funny for me to like be giving Jared Goff credit. Like a couple years ago, I would have been like, Jared Goff, like what? And now I'm like, well, Jared Goff. Oh, it's so weird.
Turns out.
And they've got Amon
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I love his name, and
Yeah.
I'm just effing it up. I watched him on receivers, and I like fell in love with him, and I was like, oh, you're great. I wish you didn't play for another team.
Yeah.
But there just seems like there's all these
Even
factors.
if he was like available, Jerry wouldn't go get him. So don't get too excited.
We don't write checks for people, apparently. Derrick Henry. R.I.P.
Devontae Adams.
So sad. It's just so sad. I can't drink. Anyways, I just look at like the matchups and I'm like, they don't really play favorably in, terms of how things could pan out for the Cowboys. And even if you did have, your main guys back, it would still be a dogfight. And so
yeah,
I just feel like the cards are stacked against them currently, in my personal opinion. And I think it's gonna be tough to come out with a win. I
agree with you. I do think that Overshone is gonna like seal the deal on getting an interception this time though.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. He was hungry after that. He was talking so much trash.
She says that as a massive UT fan is really why she's picking that.
Massive. Obviously.
No, I mean, that would be great. And you could probably see some looks where he ends up rushing the quarterback too, especially because we have like no one to do that right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's a lot more active, even more so than he has been.
I would love that. I think he's really been fun to watch. I know he's just like, technically his rookie year was last year, but he didn't get to play. So this is like his real rookie year. So he's really just like has all this energy and like unharnessed talent that he hasn't gotten to like expose on the field or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Lewis is like, I'm dying.
J-Lou.
Who I think it was Amon-Ra St. Brown that like was talking about how their last meeting he was saying a lot of like he was talking a lot of shit to him. J-Lou was talking a lot of shit to him.
I love it.
And then J-Lou was like, I have no idea what I said, but like I'll probably do it again.
Really genuinely no regrets.
He was like, if it was out of pocket, like I'll do it again. I don't care.
Honestly, there's like some meme on Instagram where it's like, if I talked about you behind your back, come to me and I will straight up tell you to your face.
Yeah.
Like I like lean in, man, like own it. And he's like, I don't care.
He's like, if it was offensive, I'll do it again.
Yeah. If you find me offensive, stop finding me.
Yeah.
Like mainly that.
He don't find you though. That's the thing.
That's true.
He had a really good game against the Steelers. I think that will carry over again this week. I think he's excited about this matchup for sure.
Yeah, which is what you want from a defense. Like you want those that are hungry.
Yeah.
I was telling this to my boss this week, and I was talking about the nature of people that I want on my team. And I mean that team like in my 9-to-5 job, but I would apply this to like my football team as well. And it's like, give me the people that hate to lose more than they like to win.
Yeah.
Like give me the people who just can't stand the thought of taking an L. And because like winning is easy. Like who doesn't like winning? Like
Yeah.
obviously like that's fun, but like give me the mother effer who's gonna go on the field and like leave it all.
Yeah.
So like God forbid this team loses. And if it does lose, it won't be because of me, you know? And like that's like the energy, like give me that like all day.
Did you were you in on the CD and Dak controversy of like what he was saying to him on the
Yeah.
and did you see what he said?
He apparently said like I got you if you it's like
It
jump
was like
ball.
jump ball.
Yeah.
That's what okay, a lot of people were able to read that.
Yeah.
I couldn't read that for shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But he and then like a lot of people had said that he clarified that is what it was.
Yeah.
And Micah had Trayvon Diggs on his podcast and he was just like, you guys like make a big deal about all like they love to do this. They're like, you guys make a big deal about all this. I'm like, obviously we're like watching everything you
like,
do.
hello.
Like, hello.
You are a big deal to us. We are
Yeah.
obsessed with you.
Clearly.
Like, we have an unhealthy relationship with your well-being, sir.
But he essentially they were just like, we're just like trying to be better on the sideline together. Like we're not like mother effing each other. We're like, dude, like I got this if you do this, whatever. Yeah. We're like trying to like work through the kinks on the sideline.
Yeah.
Essentially is what they were saying. And I was like, I mean, at least it's all good according to them. But yeah. I was just like, that's so funny that they like the way they get on because I can tell exactly what they're going to talk about. I've actually been enjoying Micah's podcast. I know a lot of people hate it. I think it's interesting.
I think it's brilliant. Like he also like just solely from a marketing perspective, like he's setting himself up for success later. Like they do like good for him.
I like it better when he has someone on with him.
Yeah.
Like he first of all, that man can talk to a tree stump, clearly.
I want to have him on our show. We should shoot for that one.
That would be really funny.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
But yeah, he'd obviously talk, he'll just like go through, oh, this is what I was thinking in this moment, this is what I was thinking that moment, this was what happened in this part of the game. Oh, I was watching this game and I saw this like read on this play or whatever. Yeah. It's so interesting to listen to him just like wax poetic about it.
Yeah.
But having like you can tell he's like best friends with Trayvon and they're just like I knew exactly what they were going to talk about the second they opened their mouths. I was like, okay, go off, Kings. Like,
I love it. I love it. No, I mean, I need to actually tune in because he had someone on from the Eagles last week. And I was
Eagles players on a lot, actually.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, it just, I think he's doing such a smart thing. And it's actually like really interesting too. Like I would have a problem if he had like I think I heard like Saad say like it would be wild if he had Jalen Hurts on, but I was like, yeah, that'd be insane.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah,
if they did that.
That would be insane. But like also, oh my God, I need my team to actually score some points. Do something. Anyways, but yeah, I love the whole like behind the scenes. Like it's very like Travis Kelce coded, like New Heights, where they're like
actually. That's why I like it when he has one of his buddies on there. It's like a little more.
And it actually like helps you as a player like own your own narrative way better because again like if you think about
he's like y'all said this but actually
because like a couple years ago with like Dez like everyone was like Dez is just yelling at people on the sideline and like that's very similar to like what happened.
Can you imagine if Dez had a podcast?
No.
The way that man would be canceled in like 2 seconds.
I love him dearly, but like absolutely.
He gets himself in enough trouble on Twitter.
No. I would be like I just imagine if you go to the PR department and you're like, who was really hard for you to handle and like have to like
1000% does.
They'd be like, oh
yeah. He likes to step in it a lot. Like I still appreciate like his insights and stuff like
Fix this shit, Rich.
But it's like I need him to not go off on tangents sometimes because I'm like, we didn't need to know that you thought that. Like,
like that's an internal monologue that needs to stay
like
internal.
You're welcome to have those thoughts. I was like, but I didn't need to know that about you.
Yeah. We still love him, but like, whoa.
Yeah. But that would be crazy. At least like Micah does a good like he'll spill tea and some stuff he probably shouldn't, but like he's never like truly getting himself into trouble. And if he says something about like an opponent or something, he's like, okay, I understand what you were thinking that I was getting at, but this is actually what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like he can pretty well articulate what he's like trying to get across. But either way, it's still fascinating to listen to every week, but gotta love Micah. It's what he has to do right now since he's not on the field.
It makes me so sad he's not on the field.
I know.
Like I also just need to make sure he's a Cowboy forever. But that's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
Is like really like I just get like an automatic anxiety when I start to think about it, but I just can't think about it.
If you want to have more anxiety, you should follow his uncle.
Bad recommendation from one anxiety queen to another.
Right. I said if you want to have anxiety, no one wants to have anxiety.
Oh God.
I don't even follow him. He just shows up like, because you know how it like curates your feed more now, which I appreciate, but
I actually don't.
I like it.
Ugh.
It doesn't do as good of a job as TikTok does, but
yeah,
the algorithm is trying at least. Like,
yeah,
it keeps the relevant stuff relevant. And if I don't like something, I'm just like, go away.
Yeah. Like erase from my mind.
Yeah. Like don't come back.
So needless to say, I don't think we have a lot of confidence in tomorrow's game. I mean, for me, again, I really do feel like the run game is going the Lions run game is going to kill us. And I think that a lack of defensive pressure on our end is going to really give Jared Goff the opportunity to make plays that maybe he wouldn't even make previously.
Yeah.
So I just really feel like our offense isn't going to be spending a ton of time on the field. And I think it's really going to be the Lions show. And I hate to say that.
Yeah.
I do hope that, we can turn the corner and really find that synergy between, Dak and CD, and they can start to like make things happen, because I really think, I mean, they need to, they're paid to, they both got their checks, and it's like, all right, boys, like this is the time.
Yeah. I think I'm less concerned about Dak and the offense than I am about stopping what they can do on offense. Like,
yeah,
we were able to hang in that game and get a win, like both of the last games, really, because our defense was able to step up and stop them in some ways. But when you have a run game like they do, it's just like, how?
Yeah.
When you don't have the guys.
I mean, we were struggling already with that, like even before this year. And then now that we have the injuries, it's like, oh, cool. Like, what are we going to do? We could do. Megan and I did go to the witch store today. So if you guys want to really start to turn to alternative methods, we could just
told them about Etsy witches, and now we just like went to the witch store ourselves.
We did.
I love that.
Yeah. Like, honestly, we could just start to burn candles against this stuff and like just really go all out. I
should have asked her. Well, I bought sage. I bought my sage so I was able to wear my Dak jersey again.
Yes.
I bought it from that store.
Yes. We should go back and be like, how do we ensure victories for our football team?
Yeah.
Like,
they would be okay with that.
What if it like required us like burning candles like in the actual stadium, and we're like sneaking into AT&T Stadium, like lighting a candle, and I'm like, light this for 1 hour in the locker room.
Yeah, try to get in with a match or whatever.
Yeah. Are we allowed to bring matches on game day?
Definitely not.
Asking for a friend. And they're like, what? Like, it's like I put a candle in like Meg's purse, and like I've got
crystals, though.
I've got like a matchstick in my bra, and they're like, and I'm like in the stands, like lighting it and like holding it out.
They see like smoke coming up from the bathroom,
like wafting it like at like the field. They're like, these girls are crazy.
I wonder if they have a problem with that in New Orleans.
You know what? If anyone would allow it, it would be New Orleans.
I don't know if they would allow it, but like, how are you going to stop me? I've literally, my friend snuck my purse into that stadium, and I don't know how he did that.
Really?
Yeah, because like it was too big.
Because he has a credential?
No. Oh, he literally shoved it in his pants and like walked in, and I was like, okay.
I did not know that.
How did you get away with that?
Dude, that's amazing.
Because I was like, I don't have anywhere to put it.
Oh yeah.
And this was a long time ago. This was actually, it was supposed to be Dak versus Drew Brees, and it ended up being Brandon Weeden versus,
what a letdown.
Like some backup dude.
Yeah.
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 I forget. Like he was I think he might have played like 2 games ever, but
yeah.
Regardless. But that's how long ago that was. But it was so funny to me. I was like, they just really don't check stuff around here.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
That was when you wore my Looney Tunes Cowboys thing.
No, different time.
Do you still have that?
I gave it back to you.
Need to find
She moved to another state. She can't find her stuff, and now it's my problem.
Listen, if I had a sister, it would be this one. And I'm like, did you steal my stuff? And she's like, no.
If I did, I would tell you.
If I did, I would tell you and I would still have it.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm gonna have to probably do some more shopping. Shucks.
Well, while you're shopping for Etsy witches for a game day, you can always find your Looney Tunes.
That's true. I'll do some digging on that. All right. So how bad of a loss do you think tomorrow's gonna be if you like have to kind of give it I don't need a score prediction, but I just kind of need to know like are we like temperature wise, is this gonna be like hell? Or are we just thinking like slight tanning booth situation? Like
Like tanning
or like
booths.
slight sauna? Like how bad?
So far, all of my like internal vibes have been on point.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like it feels like saintsy to me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I am not staying for the game tomorrow. I got an invitation to stay, and I don't have childcare, so my husband would have to stay home for another day,
Oh no.
which I wouldn't. I love him. I wouldn't feel guilty about leaving him one
Yeah.
more day with the kids. Like, I know he will never watch this, but just so we're clear, I made them for 9 months, so you can watch them for one more day.
Yeah.
Either way, though, I'm just like, oh, the idea of staying for like a bad game just sounds like not the vibe.
Yeah. Ugh. I just really pray for the defense,
Oh, actually, also, it's Jerry Jones's birthday tomorrow.
Oh God.
Does that change things for you?
No.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe we'll do it in spite.
I mean, that like he's very superstitious. So like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that it's his birthday, but as the man who sold his soul for the 90s victories, it probably is going to be a bad thing for tomorrow's team.
As long as he doesn't invite Ted Cruz or Elon Musk, I think he's like trending in the right direction. Because they're bad luck. So
no guarantees on those guys. Probably just maybe
Elon was at the cheering for the Steelers last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll have Chris Christie there.
Oh. He's not, is he bad luck? I don't know.
He's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different story for a different day.
Like, I don't know.
I'm simply speaking of the luck that they bring. Just bad juju.
What if it was like Ted Cruz ended up being lucky for your team? I would be like, you will go sit in the corner and we will lock you away.
Been lucky, which honestly it worked out well for me because he is an Astros fan and
that's fantastic.
Last year, like during the Rangers Astros, when the Rangers bounced the Astros, he was at the game and I was like, I was texting my Astros friends. I was like, y'all are gonna lose.
Yeah, like
they did. So.
Good. Sucks to suck, basically what we're trying to say. Well,
just don't invite him to the game, and you're at least helping yourself a little bit.
Yeah. We have many thoughts on that topic, but they're all not positive.
For another day.
Yeah, for another day. Basically, what we're trying to say is buckle up, kids, tomorrow, because it's not going to be fun in our personal opinion. We would love to be proven otherwise.
I would love to be proven
To be clear, I will be thrilled if Jalen Tolbert ends up being the second coming and just decides to pop up. I'm going to pick him up on fantasy.
I might leave him on my bench so that he'll score a lot of points on my bench.
You should.
That's for you guys.
Everyone, I'm going to pick him up. Everyone else, leave him on your bench, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I'll benefit because mainly I'm really bad.
Watch him rack up points.
I'm really bad at fantasy football.
Nobody cares about my fantasy football team,
but
I had a slow start. And I literally won by like decimal points.
Oh.
Against Ashley, and she was very angry about it. And then I beat Chelsea by a lot. So
we're back, baby.
Yeah. Well, I have Derrick Henry on my team, unlike Jerry Jones. So.
Oh, yep.
There's that.
Well, that is the recipe for success, but we wouldn't know anything about that. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do appreciate you always tuning in. We love you very much. And hopefully everything we said about the Cowboys tomorrow is totally wrong and they go ahead and come out with the victory, but unlikely. So make sure you do subscribe to our channel. That is awesome for us. So just hit the subscribe button down below. We're also on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Pandora, all of those places, in addition to this here YouTube channel. Then come hang out with us on social media. I am on Twitter. I'm just going to call it Twitter. I can't. I'm sorry. At Kelsey_Charles. And I'm on Instagram at Hey Kelsey Charles. And Megan is
at Meg Murray with 4 R's on both. And also, Girls Talking Boys without the A.
Without the A.
On Instagram and Twitter as well.
Yes, she runs it. I'm gonna be for real with you guys. She's amazing at it and she's so funny. So it's worth the follow.
I'm trying to find my meme of the week. We'll figure it out.
We have about 12 hours to figure out just that such. So,
Yes.
all right, guys. Well, there's something really important we have to leave you with, as always. And Megan, I will let you do the honors.
Dallas forever, Philly for never.
Birds aren't real and hook 'em horns. Bye, guys.